Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we are back with the Khans of Tarkir set review, and today's color is black. So we're gonna start off with Blood Soak Champion, which is a pretty good card. So it's 1 mana, Human Warrior, 2-1 for 1 mana. It can block, but it does have raid ability. Return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only if you attack this turn. Yeah, this card is, I think, incredibly good. So one, if it's a 1-drop, it can trigger raid from turn 2 onwards, and then obviously Mordu likes attacking, so this is an additional body that can come back, makes the it helps the board go wide, and then maybe subject to pump spell. Very good card. Despise, so it's kind of duress but for creatures, 1 mana sorcery. Yeah, it's a playable card. Yeah, you might look out for it, whether it's main deck or sideboard, but it's a 1 mana to get a threat out of your opponent hand, 1 for 1. It's an okay card. Disarmed Ancestor. Now I think this card is deceptively good. So it's a 1 mana Spirit Warrior 0/4, and it has an Outlast to 1 and a black. So you can tap it and put a +1/+1 counter on it. And you can only Outlast as a sorcery. But this is pretty good on blocking, and once you have the spare mana, you can just keep outlasting when you have other creatures on the board. And it can grow pretty big, like I have seen this being a 4/8 or something like that. So yeah, it's a good card. Morting Snakeskin, so this is a 1 black enchantment aura. An enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and has 2 and a black regenerate this creature. Yeah, I mean, if you can land it with mana up, like this is pretty good. Your attacker is gonna be meaningful and it's hard to deal with because of the regenerate. Otherwise, it is an aura, so it's risk of 2 for 1. Yeah, I think it's matchup dependent. I wouldn't rate very highly this card. Like if you don't have anything else to play, then maybe that's an option. But otherwise, I would just avoid this. Retribution of the Ancients. This is a 1 black enchantment, and for a black, remove X +1/+1 counters from one creatures you control. Target creature gets X minus X, so -X until end of turn. Yeah, so this one is yeah, this one's an interesting card. Like it's a solid build around. It could be a solid build around. If you have the +1/+1 counter synergies, this can kill 2 or 3 creatures on the board, which is usually enough to win the game. But you really need to pick highly those cards which bring +1/+1 counters on. This is one of those cool cards which completely changes your pick order of things. Like anything which has Outlast become like an A+ pick and stuff like that. Yeah, overall, I think it's a good build around card. Ruthless Reaper, so it's a 1 mana 1/1 with Death Touch, already very good card, and it has a morph, reveal a black card in your hand, and when it turns face up, target player loses 2 life. Yeah, this one is very good. Like, this is uncommon for a reason. The 1 mana 1/1 Death Touch will already be good, and then this could be, a 2/2 if you need it, and then you can surprise block with it, and you also deal damage to your opponent. Overall, this package adds up to something good. Debilitating Injury, so this is like kind of stab wound, 2 mana aura, enchanted creature gets -2/-2. Yeah, that's kind of dead weight. Yeah, slower dead weight, but it's still very good removal. Gurmuk's Swiftling, so this is a 2 mana 1/2 flying, first strike and haste bat. Yeah, I mean this could work in some situations. Yeah, there's a lot of keywords here to like. So if you can pump the power, this could be a menace. Yeah, it's kind of like a little bit build around the card. I mean, it's a flyer to win the Mardu deck, so very good at triggering raid. Yeah, there's enough applications here for this to be a good card. Mardu School Hunter, now this is a very good card. So this is a 2 mana 2/1 human warrior. Enter step. These are not all that gravy, but it does have raid ability when this creature enters. If you attack this turn, target opponent discards a card. Yeah, like the Blood Soak Champion or any of those one dropping into this, it's a pretty good curve. Like if this can easily get a 2 mana 2/4 for you, which is amazing. The Grimharu specs. So this is a human wizard for 3 mana. It's a 3/2. It has more for a black. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, draw a card. Yeah, that's solid, especially in a Mardu deck. Like usually there's like a lot of attacking being done, plenty of creatures dying, and then this can get you cards for it. Yeah, Keru Bloodsucker. This is a 3 mana 2/2 vampire of all creatures, and whenever a creature you control with toughness 4 or greater dies, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Yeah, and then for two and a black, you can sacrifice another creature and put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So I think this one is actually pretty good. Like overall the package adds up. Like it gives you reach, like you can, yeah, you can do the activation instant speed. So like if there's a bad combat happening or removal, you can get a counter on this. But like I think it's also the first target to be removed. Yeah, overall good card. Rakshasa Secret. So this is basically Mind Rot, and you mill two cards too. Yeah, in a Sultai deck this is playable because of the mill, and then you get a 2 for 1, like a negative 2 for 1, so they discard. Yeah, overall it is okay card. Like you're probably not gonna start main deck, but if you like trying to get the last few card out of their hand, this could be a solution from sideboard. Bellowing Saddle Brute, so this is a 4 mana 4/5 Orc Warrior, which is already good. Yeah, and then this has a disadvantage unless you trigger the raid, because if you don't trigger the raid, you lose 4 life, which is a lot of life. But if you attack this turn, you get a 4 mana 4/5, which is kind of amazing. Bitter Revelation, so it's a 4 mana. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 2 of them into your hand, and the rest of your graveyard, you lose 2. Now, this is 4 mana, a more expensive but pretty good iteration of this card, because you go from the top 4, so it guarantees kind of that you can meet your land drop if that's what you want, or find action if that's what you want. So yeah, it's an okay card. Don't pick it too highly or consider too highly, but you don't feel shameful playing it necessarily. Dutiful Return, so it's a 4 mana sorcery. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, it's a decent divination. It guarantees that you're gonna get action. Empty the pits. So it's XX, black, 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 black. Wow, it's quite the cost. It's an instant, and it does have depth, so it makes it cheaper. And you create X tap to black zombie creature tokens. So let's say you exile, like, I don't know, like you cost it for 6, exile another 6, then you make 4 zombies. Yeah, I mean 6 mana 4 zombies is actually pretty good. So this card can scale up pretty well, but yeah, but it's yeah, like at a lower cost. I don't know, that's not very impressive probably. Like you wanna exile like I don't know, like 8 cards in your graveyard and then spend another 6 mana to feel very good about this. Because then you get 5 zombies for 6 mana. Yeah, that's not bad. It's instant speed though. But the zombies come tapped, but still you can do a surprise attack. Yeah, like I don't know, you can try it. It's kind of on the borderline in scalability. Merak Blade, so it's a 4 mana Orc Assassin 2/3. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter and has Death Touch, and it outlasts for a black. So yeah, so this can be a 3/4 Death Toucher, which is pretty good, especially on block. Yeah, Raider Spoil, 4 mana enchantment. Creatures you control get +1/+0. Very good with warriors. When a warrior creature you control deals combat damage to player, you may pay 1 life. If you draw a card. Wow. Wow. I think this card is actually good. Yeah, I remember this being okay. Yeah. Cause you gonna attack, you gonna deal damage in the mod warriors deck, and then converting that to cards. You don't really care about the life, because you probably supposedly ahead on life. Yeah, it's good stuff. CDC Spat, so it's a 4 mana 1/4 zombie ape. And then it has morph, so you can play it as 2/2, and it has lifelink. I think this card is not good actually. Like everything is just so weak. Like 4 mana for a 1/4 lifelinker, that's just way too much. And then morphing and then turning it face up. Yeah, you can get like a surprise block, but it doesn't really kill anything. So yeah, I'm down on this card. Unyielding Kumar. Now this one used to be good, so it's a 4 mana 3/3, which is a huge giant. But for 1 and a white, this can get first strike, which is pretty good. So first strike is solidarity, and this can get it, so it's an okay card. Yeah, Karudarma, so it's a 5 mana zombie crocodile. It's a 4/4 defender, so it's a little bit too much for only a defender. But for 1 and a green, you can sacrifice another creature, you gain life equal to the sacrifice creature's toughness. So yeah, so it helps jump blocking, like getting ahead of removal. But overall, like yeah, the defender really, breaks down this card. Like it can't engage really meaningfully in combat when you want to. Unfortunate. Kumar Bonkin, so it's a 5 mana 5/3 Orc Warrior and Morphs for 5. Yeah, it's a lot of power, but the 3 toughness is really like kind of let down on this card, unfortunately. Murderous Cut. Now, this card is not let down at all. So, this is 4 and a black for an instant. Destroy target creature. 5 mana, instant speed, hard removal. But it gets better because you can delve it. So, you can exile cards from your graveyard. And this could be an easy 1 mana kill any creature, which is unbelievable card in limited. Rotting Mastodon. So, that's a zombie elephant. And for 5 mana, you get a 2/8, ladies and gentlemen. So those are real numbers. And this pretty much blocks anything. So yeah, so there's probably no card in the set which this just outright doesn't block. So surprisingly, I think it's like normally a pretty bad card, but in this format it might have a little bit of space. If you are, like a long game deck, then this can definitely buy you time. Swarm of Bloodflies, so it's a 5 mana 0/0 flyer, very impressive. It does enter with 2+1/+1 counter on it, and whenever a creature dies, you put a +1/+1 counter on this one. So yeah, I mean this can grow with the game, and then flying helps you take over. Yeah, this is an uncommon for a reason. It takes some time investment to get it going, but once it does, it finishes the game pretty quickly. Throttle, so this is the premium removal in the set. It's a 5 mana instant. Target creature gets -4/-4 at the end of turn. Yeah, solid removal, not much to say here. Pick it highly and play it. Rite of Serpent, so it's a 6 mana sorcery removal, destroy target creature. If it had a +1/+1 counter on it, you create a 1/1 snake. Yeah, and it's a little bit of upside. Like it's not a great removal, but it's removal nonetheless, and it kills any creature, so I would assume it's playable. Sultai Scavenger, so it's a 5 and a black bird warrior, and it's a flying 3/3 with delve. So this is the same deal. This could be a 1 or 2 mana 3/3 flyer, which is unbelievably cheap. So there you go, play it accordingly. That's why the mill in the Sultai deck is so powerful. Shambling Attendant, another iteration of the same. It's 7 and a black, so it's a lot. And it's a zombie, it does have the death. It's a 3/5, but it does have Death Touch. So this tangles very, very well on defense. Nothing can really get through it and live to tell the tale. So yeah, if your deck needs this type of card, this is doable. Yeah, you just need to watch out really how much you fill your graveyard, because these without having proper death fuel are very, very expensive. So I don't think you can play like 6 of these type of cards in your deck. And if you want to play one of them, Necropolis Fiend might just be your boy, because there's a 7 black black demon with flying and death for a 4/5, and for X mana and a tap, exile X cards from your graveyard, target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn. Yeah, so I think when once you play Necropolis Fiend, that you're not gonna have too much fodder to delve anymore, because you're gonna use probably the ability in some of the cases, and remove a few creatures. Although I don't know if you are the guy with the 4/5 flyer, what else is gonna bother you on that board. But this card has a lot of applications. It's a super solid demon. So yeah, pick it highly, it's probably like an A. That drop another Delve All-Star for 10 mana. 9 black, ladies and gentlemen, and it does have death, and target player sacrifices 2 creatures of their choice. So this one is gonna look a very good card or an absolutely horrible card in this format, depending on the matchup. If you play against Mardu and they start generating Hordeling Outburst tokens, then this is gonna be probably the worst card in your deck, because it's gonna take 2 tokens and you spend your entire graveyard and 10 mana. But if you play like more like an absent big creature Outlast deck, then this is gonna feel really, really good. Because you played they put mana and time into making those cards bigger, and now you just take 2 of them off. Yeah, so it depending on the matchup, I would start this in the sideboard honestly. So yeah, so that was the black review, and thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and we're gonna come back with red and green shortly.